My next guest takes on Dan Moret coming up here at UFC on ESPN Plus 4 on March 9th. It is Alex White back here on the program. Alex, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm doing pretty good out in California.
Yeah, that's sort of the thing I wanted to talk to you about right off the top. What brought you down there? Where are you training right now?
What brought me down here was my manager, Kyle Stoltz. He let me know that there's some good training here. I was going out to Kansas City to James Krause's gym. That's some good training as well. And I thought I'd try something new, come to California, try it out. And so far, the gyms is pretty awesome. It's good training everywhere.
Okay, what are some of the gyms you've been training at in California?
I've been going to Muscle Farm, the Body Shop, and then I've been training with Jason Manley. He's a high-level jiu-jitsu guy, and he's pretty cool.
How's that been, being away, because I know you're a dad and everything like that. Has that process been difficult?
Yeah, there's a lot of messing going on. I talk to them almost every night, every other night, at least. Other than that, this is part of the process, like you have to travel to get better.
It's true. Yeah, no, that's good. You made the decision, and that's good management right there that they encouraged you to make that move, which is great. Last time we saw you, I know things didn't go your way in that fight against Jim Miller, UFC 228. What did you take away the most from that? Was it just a simple mistake, or do you take something else away from that performance?
Yeah, there's a couple mistakes. One of them is I start off too slow. Mm-hmm. And like he told me after the fight, that's one of the things he noticed about me was the starting slow part. So I'm going to try to amp it up this time and get a good warm-up before I head out there so that way I'll be ready to go.
And was this the right amount of time off for you, I should say, because we're talking about a fight in March and you last fought in September?
Yeah, after the fight, I get kind of lazy a little bit. So it takes me a little bit to get in there and train full time. And I had some help with my fiance and my coach and just my family and friends around trying to push me. So.
Okay, that's good to hear. Now let's talk about your opponent here, Dan Moret. He's a bit of a newcomer. He's only had the one UFC fight. How do you feel like you match up against him?
I think it's a good fight. It's a fight that I believe I can win. I guess he tries to stand up, but most of his wins is by submission. So I'm just going to be ready for either.
Do you feel like experience will play a factor in this matchup? You've been a UFC mainstay for a couple of years, and Dan's relatively new to the UFC. Do you feel like having fought the opponents you fought, having that experience, do you feel like that's going to give you an advantage in this fight?
Yeah, I mean, fighting high-level opponents like that, that's always going to give you experience that can better you and then put you one step ahead of your opponent. I think that I just got more years in the UFC with him, and I think higher caliber guys than what he's fought. So I think that might play a factor.
And you mentioned the gyms you're training at. Who are some of the training partners you've been working with? I don't know if there's anyone you've been working with a little bit more than others, but and I know it's probably a long list, but is there anyone that comes to mind in terms of sort of the bodies you've been working with ahead of this fight?
Yeah, like I mentioned, Jason Manley, he's a high-level jiu-jitsu guy. He's going to be one of my corner people. I've been working with him a lot. And then he's had some people to hop in and gang up on me.
Right, yeah.
Trying to bet on me.
That's good.
Yeah, I can't remember all the names, like the gyms I go to.
Yeah, we'd be here for a while. I was going to ask you, you mentioned the Body Shop. Did you get to work with Aj Mckee at all? Because he's, I know he's a featherweight, but I'm sure he's a guy that, would be a good training partner.
No, I didn't get to go with him. Him and Pico was out that day. Okay. But they have awesome other training partners there that gave me a good walkover.
Yeah, no, for sure. And at Muscle Farm, that's sort of like a super camp over there. They've got like, Joe Schilling and Mickey Gall. Did you get to work with any of those guys at all?
I didn't get to work with Joe or Mickey. I've talked to Mickey. He's invited me out a couple times to different days that I already had something planned, so I wasn't able to work out with him. But I still got a couple more weeks, and hopefully I can get it in with them.
So if we add up all the time you've been in California, how long will you have been there for this training camp?
I think it'll be about 3.5 weeks.
Okay, that's great, man. That's good to get that extra training in. How's the weight cut going ahead of this fight?
My weight's coming off. I'm staying more active, pushing myself harder because, out in California they have higher caliber guys for me to go with, a lot more of them. So my weight's just coming right off.
Okay. And, as far as you mentioned your corner a bit there, who are some of the other cornermen that will be there in the cage with you that night?
The other one would be Joe Warden, my original coach.
Good stuff, man. And how do you see this fight playing out on March 9th?
I think it'll probably stand up for a first round and a half, and then maybe he'll try to take me down or try to sub me. And like I said, I've been working my defense, so I'm just going to play my game.
How many fights are left on your UFC contract, do you know?
I think there's 2.
Okay, gotcha. Like, are you worried at all? I mean, 3 straight losses. I know you're thinking of getting the win here. Obviously, otherwise, why would you take the fight? But, is it in the back of your head that you could be cut if you lose here?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good possibility that I could. One of the guys that used to work for the UFC, it's easy to get in the UFC. It's harder to stay. So that's one of the reasons why I'm traveling and coming out.
Yeah, no regrets whatsoever. Like, does that weigh on you at all, knowing that, again, like your last fight, you at least were, you get a bit more leeway, but having 2 losses, it's the pressure's on. Does that get you at all, or are you just approaching this like another fight?
Right now, I'm just approaching it as another fight, but it's pushing me harder.
I know you've been doing a lot of training down there in California, but not having the dad responsibilities, I'm sure frees up a little bit of time. So what does downtime look like for you in California, other than calling home, obviously, and checking up? But are you getting out to see any of the sites? You going to the beach at all, and anything cool like that?
Yeah, right now I'm staying at Huntington Beach. It's like where I'm staying is a 7-minute walk from the beach. I've been there a couple times already. The views is awesome. The ocean, you get to watch people surf and all that. I'm hoping to come back maybe later this summer and actually experience it,
Yeah. And any thoughts of moving down there, or would that be too difficult?
No, that'd be too difficult. For training camps, I can see myself coming here. Moving, that's too far away from my dad's responsibility.
It's going to be a great card. It's coming up here March 9th. It is UFC on ESPN Plus 4 in Wichita. It's going to be a great card. Alex, thank you so much for the time, man. It's great, always great talking to you, I should say. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours.
Yeah, you can always find me at Alex White on Facebook. My fan page is Alex the Spartan White, or you can look me up on Instagram at Alex1022 2004. On Instagram. I just, like I said, my shout-outs for my family and friends, my training partners and coaches. They're the ones that's pushing me, encouraging me, so many thanks to them.